Okay, now coming to the other sections of the same. The group testing officer mostly defines rule of infinity. Now there are line, starting line and last line. There are some people, they say from starting line to the last line you have to go from here. They tell that these lines are infinity. They are not this, that they are only this much, right? So why they do that? Basically because there are some candidate who will say, why are we doing all this? Why don't we go from sides and reach that? So that is why they call this rule of infinity. The starting line are lines of infinity. One cannot go from left to right, and they have to go using the helping material from the middle only and cross to the other line. Because there are times he feels funny. There are some people who will give all the suggestion that, sir, why we are necessarily wasting time in helping material? Why can't we go? That means they want you to listen, they understand, adopt the rules so that you understand the game. They have done it purposefully to make your mind function, to make your group work on ideas. That is why. Now we come down rule of distance and jump. There are times when you will be making helping material and going from one structure to the other, but they allow you restriction of jumping only for a maximum of 4 feet. So automatically they distance the structures such that you will be able to jump and reach there, and thus you will be able to complete it. So this way they try to give you certain freedom as well as certain restrictions. So remember that now there is not one person who can jump 6 feet. This way the entire structure which is created of some few feet will be covered in 2 jumps or 3 jumps. This is not what they are looking for. They are not looking for kangaroos in the armed forces, neither monkeys. They are looking for human beings who are able to apply their mind. Is it clear? Both, all of you? Yep. So by extending leg span, however distance beyond that is prohibited as rule break. Rule of out of bound area. They'll have rule of out of bound area. They'll have areas, especially the ground away from the starting line, painted with restricted colors. They'll say this area you cannot go. You have to go within the straight path. Number 1. Number 2, they will say that you cannot touch the red area. You cannot touch this area. You cannot, and they will paint that structure. So they are doing it deliberately so that you do not use those areas. You use other areas. Why? They want you to apply your brain how to use those areas. They want you to apply your brain how to solve, how to concentrate, how to focus, and how to work up ideas. Ideas are very ambiguous things in the mind. It cannot be read until and unless it is spoken. And once you are able to think, then we come to know your entire thinking pattern. So if you are not able to speak anything relevant and do something relevant, we'll never come to know what you really want to tell. Now we come down to rule of colors also they do. And that also, as I have told you, different colors will be having different meaning, connotations. White you can totally use, blue you can stand but you cannot keep your things, red you may totally. Now please don't go by my learnings of the colors. You'll have to be there. They will give you their own system of coloring thing. Why? I had once a situation when a candidate went there and they had changed few different colors there. So automatically person is going by a learned format, and there they are telling a different format. This speaks wrong. So if they will give you clear instructions, so when they will tell you clearly that this red is not to be used, blue is to be used, white is to be used, listen to them carefully. For example, black color. Black color is considered as extension color. What do you mean by extension color? Suppose there is something red and the lower portion till the ground is black. That means the entire thing is red. If there is white and the lower portion is black, that means the entire thing is white. They do tell that, but listen to what he is saying. Because after all, it's not about my instruction, it's about the instruction given by the group testing officer, which is important. So you will have to have sharp ears to the instructions. And if you will do that, you will do well. Now we come down. Red color cannot be touched or utilized at all. Example B, blue yellow color can be touched or used, but the load or helping material cannot be placed on top of it. White color area can be touched or used with or without load or helping material. Got it? So this is something. Black color area can be touched or used as per associating with the other color, as I have already told you. The same decoding is used for the mite protection. They say that way we've done it for termite protection because it is in ground. Then they put charcoal and other kind of medication, so they put it black. So you have to understand that. The group testing is fully empowered to give different interpretation. I have told you that. Of color, therefore the candidate must carefully listen to his instructions and do as per that. Rule of rigidity. The rule defines that no two rigid helping materials can be tied to each other. Now, there are some people who will take a plank which is of 6 feet and they take a bully which is of 7 feet and tie it together and say entire distance is covered. No, they tell you helping material cannot be tied to each other. That means one place you can use this, the other place you can use it, but they cannot be tied to each other. They can be tied to the structures, the one which are given there, but cannot be tied to each other. However, there is no restriction of tying to the structure on ground. Understood? He even implies that no two can be tied to cover long distance. Now in long distance you've done it wrong. Rule of group and load. They say is that one works as a team. Does it specify? Now you have crossed starting line to the line, ending line, and you left all the group members behind. No, you have to take all the group people together also. Plus they will give you a load. They may give you a TV. They may say this is an ammunition box. You have to take across. Though it will not be, but it will be a box. It will be a symbolic thing. Right? So you will be told to take across. That means you have to treat it properly. I remember once a candidate took a TV and he kept it somewhere down below and he was climbing that to reach the other place. Imagine how absent-minded the candidate was, that he forgot that it is a TV. If it is a TV, will you stand on top of it? No. So there one has to see, are you present here or absent-minded? Right? Like for example, in the class, some of you are present, some of you are absent-minded. So if you are not listening to me, what is it? It's going waste. I am also coming to know one thing more, that you're not sincere about your thing. So that is why I'm recording this for you, so that you can repeat and learn. See, I'm not telling you that it is very important to follow every instruction of mine, but it is very important to identify what is the need of the world. Remember, everyone is not living for you, they are living for themselves. But when you live with them as a team, they start living for you also. But for that, the first thing which you have to do is you have to live for them also. That means, I'll explain you this, that if I want my parents to care for me, I should care for them as well. Automatically, our bond will improve. Similarly, I want to care for my brother, I should care for him also. Automatically, the bond will improve, and tomorrow, my brother will also bother about me. Similarly, if you are interested to learn from me, you have to listen to me. And I have to listen to your questions, if any, so that automatically the process is complete of education. So every relationship has to remember, one has to remember before starting every relationship, it is not about him or her, it is about the other person. Once you appreciate and connect with the other person, then automatically then you have a bridge and then you have a complete system across all the things. That is what I mean. So while you are paying attention to the class or you're not paying attention to the class, you have to remember that the education cannot be complete unless you pay. Similarly, in the group, while you're performing progressive group tasks, if you will not appreciate the others, then the others will also object to you. If you will be appreciative of others, you will be taking others' ideas also, giving them, telling, okay, you move forward and this. You know what are you doing? You creating a sense of group. Now don't do it artificially and don't do it continuously. That means sometimes you do, sometimes you say your point. This way you will create a wonderful understanding with the group, and also, of course, in your day-to-day relationships also. So remember that if you're not being corrected, I'm sorry, I'm sounding like a big grandpa, but the process is to only educate your mind. I would never like that if what I learned over the years, you again take so many years to learn. I would love to see that you learn early so that you enjoy a better life, all of you. So role of group and united movement is that one works as a team, that the entire group must move in unison in the entire course along with helping material and load. The individualistic lacking sense of teamship often overlooks this rule. He just bothers with goes. And that is not identified. The officer is seeing that he is solving and going forward. What about other? The progressive group task is not about one person solving the thing. It is about the group solving and going across. That means you are going to participate as a group member to solve, to let some people go. Then you also go there. But in the end of the thing, everybody should have gone across. Not this that, okay, 5 are still there and you've got all the helping material and 2 people or 3 people or 4 people have come across and the rest have been forgotten. No, not that. Rule of one-time movable drum. This is also there. They sometimes give you a OTMD. They call it one-time movable drum. They tell you that you can use it, pick it from there and place it somewhere where you need to shorten the gap. Suppose they give you an OTMD lying in the left side. They'll say this is a one-time movable drum. In case you feel that you are not able to solve, you can use it. So if you feel that while a solution is getting affected, that distance is too much, and you can use this by placing it there as a structure, do it, because they have given you. Right? So you'll have to use it. If you are having a resource and you deliberately are fighting without using the resource, how foolish. I have given you pen to write, but you are looking around for pen. Where can I get it? I have given you, use it. There are some people who may not, but for that you will have to have a complete vision. You require it or you don't require it. Now we come down, rule of overstepping out of bound area. If you overstep, then the candidate is, the GTO says you must accept the mistake that you have done and thereafter begin from starting. Now why is he said this rule? This rule is only to identify your honesty, your courage to accept your mistake publicly. Of course it's a silly mistake, but having the guts to accept and thereafter correct is very, 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 very strong personality. So if you do a mistake and you accept it, it's going to go fine. So if you have stepped up, say that. Rule of throwing. Candidate is not permitted to throw luggage, material or light-weighted person across the aisle. Throw and you catch it. No. Even if they are given a load, don't throw it. Rule of time. The candidate will be given an allotted time to perform and you are supposed to do it. They sometimes ask you how much time. Don't be in a rush to prove, sir, within 1 minute. Just say, sir, we'll do it faster. If somebody else gives the idea that we'll take 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, you can go by. But generally, don't try to be the person to propose time, because if you're not aware how much it will take. But after first task, you'll get an idea how much time it will take. So if they ask you how much time, you can give a relevant idea. Similarly, they will ask you in half group task, how much time it will take. So don't try to be, talking big. Sir, 5 seconds. Don't do that. Don't try to behave like an over smart personality. Be relevant. If you require 30 seconds, you take 35 seconds. Or if you require 3 minutes, you take 4 minutes. Do it in less time. But do not say, I'll do it in 2 minutes and thereafter you are finding that you are doing it for 15 minutes. And let this decision come via group, not trying to be the hero in the front and coming up, sir, I'll do this. Now he will recognize you, that you are an over smart character. These over smart people generally are not practical. They are not sensible. And they not only misguide themselves, but they misguide others also. So therefore, a GTO will identify by this trick what kind of person you are. So try to hold your horses, talk what is required. So maybe given the choice and does perform accordingly. Since watches are not permitted, sometimes the officer, you may not have completed, he will say, come on, hurry up, last 1 minute, last 2 minutes. Try to do it. Don't panic at that point of time when he says last 2 minutes. But hurry up. He may again extend 1 minute more time. Or he may tell you to stop, but doesn't mean that you have not been selected or you are being rejected. He will only try to make you do things in time. Is it clear? There are many times when the officer had said, okay, stop, let's go to the other task. Yet they selected the candidates. So it is no condition that they're doing this. They're just playing their own judgment. Instruction by the officer. We will organize all the group members in a line. They'll make them stand. The group testing officer instructs all about the rules. I've already told you about the rules. The group testing officer indicates the starting line and the finish line. This is the starting, that is the finish line. Then the group testing officer sends them to use helping materials and structures to go across. The group testing officer will clearly state that the instruction and rules will be the same for all the following tasks. For all, 1, 2, 3, 4, not. It doesn't mean that after one you will wait, sir, now next instructions. That is applicable. Listen to him very carefully. Group testing officer always gives well-structured instructions covering all elements and confirm the same by rechecking and clarifying doubts. Many a time, when I went for my SSB, I remember that 20 SSB, my GTO officer was Major A.K. Pandey, if I rightly remember, a very excellent speaker, very excellent communicator, and he gave us a very good instructions while the progressive group task was to begin. And he said, okay, I'm giving you this. Any questions? Question me now. But later on, I will not give you any answers. I'll only give you a cute smile. He said that. I remember it very clearly. And we all asked few things. He clarified. But in between, we had some confusion with the group that what should we do, what we should not. Yet he did not respond to us. He just looked at us and looked at our performance. Now I want to teach you something more importantly in between the class, only for the attentive ones. Remember, armed forces also identifying not only intelligence in you, the qualities in you, but also trainability in you. What do you mean by trainable? There are some people whom I have met in numbers. Many of them, number one, they don't accept their mistake. Number two, they think they are always right. Number four, they think for them it is positivity and for me it is negativity. That means that if I say something to correct them, it is my negativity that I am talking. But if they are telling me to correct, it is positivity. So now these are hypocritical candidates which you come across in your day-to-day life. Now what exactly is this? That these people are untrainable. And believe me, these disorders, I practically saw that these over-smart, arrogant, extremely, self-loving to the extreme level that they do not accept mistakes, their entire set of people are at a bad condition because they've never identified their mistake, never corrected their mistake, never evolved themselves. Now let me tell you something more also. One, for all of you, remember there is nothing called a mistake. There is nothing as such a mistake. Mistake is actually what is impractical to do at that point of time, what is lacking value for a long period of time, what is inappropriate for that occasion, what is inappropriate for that kind of person, what is inappropriate for that kind of situation, what is inappropriate in terms of credential of that person. Everything that is mistake. For example, if someone stops a student coming into the class, it's okay. It's not a mistake. It's the mistake of the student. But suppose a president, honorable president, comes over for some reason suddenly and wants to walk into the class. then stopping would be, you may say value-based, very right, but seeing the authority, allowing her or knocking to remind me that she has arrived, or the Honorable President, Honorable has arrived, is perfectly right. So what was wrong in one way is right in the other way. There is no rigidity to be followed, but a common sense to be followed. So if you have common sense, like for example, if you kick somebody's backside for his big mistake, it may not be applicable to the innocent person, because then you will earn an enemy for a lifetime. So whenever you identify what is right and what is wrong, I want to tell you it's based on a simple rule of flexible approach and rightful judgment at that point of time. So here I want to tell you that listening to the instructions is very important, and if you don't ask, but do accept your mistake and do be flexible and learn from mutually and turn to say it. Also gives well structured, covering all elements and confirm the same by rechecking, clarifying doubts. The group testing also points to the helping material, wooden plank, block, pole, ropes which are to be used, and signal the group to begin. The group testing officer leaves the group on its own to do its task. Naturally, they will not tell, okay, you do this, you do. That is for you to come voluntarily and participate. The group testing officer takes you to the next obstacle. Once you finish that you will learn, reach the ending line, you will say, okay, now let's move to the second one. And thereafter to the third, and thereafter to the fourth. The group testing officer keeps observing, asks explanation time to time, maybe in between. He'll stop, okay, what are you planning? How you plan to do that? And maybe after that, after he's got an idea, he may say, okay, done. Now you come to the second stage. Without making you do it. May do it. It's totally in the hand of the group testing officer. And even tell them to move on to the next after you got an idea. Got it? So this is something which will happen very naturally with you. Guiding directive must listen to the instructions. I've told you, very important. You know, when he told us instructions, and he asked us in the last, after the final group task, what instruction did I give? I remembered, I told, our group also appreciatedly said yes, it was the same. He was very happy with the group because we listened to every word of his. Rather, we recorded it on a memory. Not that we have to learn the instructions, but our attentiveness was checked. Our focus was checked. Our clarity of taking instruction is checked. In the armed forces, everybody gives you an instruction. You have to be very focused at that point of time. Not this that I'm dreaming there and then, what did you say, sir? Can you please come again? Now that is something which is not acceptable for an emergency functioning organization like the armed forces. When they give you instruction, you have to be fully attentive and be able to grasp every point of it in the very first go. And that is why rapid fire questions are created in interview. They want to check your grasping power and focus. What is rapid fire? They will give you 10 to 15 questions in one go. Tell me something about this, tell me something about this, tell me this. Now you'll say, sir, please come one by one. They don't agree with that. Why they do that? They want to check your grasping power. Same here. They give you instructions, check your grasping power. The candidate must act calmly and composedly. Look cheerful also. Not like, oh my God, I'm tired already. Don't do that. Must keep the rules in the back of the mind and never break them. Candidate must observe carefully and find solutions here and not hesitate to do trial and error. If you've done, sorry to the group, and thereafter do it again, correct it. The candidate must analyze and with composure and as a team member come to a common conclusion. Now somebody is saying that no, this is wrong, that is wrong. You don't have to fight. Okay, let's try that. If the other person is saying, if you are cooperative, we'll say, okay, let's try that. Okay, this is solved, no problems. If you feel, okay, this is not solved, let's try this. This way also you can work. The candidate must not break any rule and should be careful and not being clumsy. Matlab, don't break rules, and not being clumsy means making the plank fall down, making the pole fall down, not able to do this. Yes or no? Or breaking the rules, putting your feet into the ground, putting your feet on the area where you are not supposed to touch. The candidate should remember that there are 3 different avenues to solve. Always 1, 2, 3, 4. You have middle, left, right. There are sometimes also 2 avenues, but you have to identify how many it is. There may be one going from here and then diverting, the one going from here and then diverting, one going from here in the middle diverting. So you'll have to use the brain. So don't have to be fixed that, okay, if I have to go in a straight path. No, deviations may be there as per structures. Candidate must not dominate but also not subdue others. दूसरों को दबाओ मत, खुद दबो मत. Exactly, that means enjoy the participation. Do not become down in your confidence. Never compare yourself. Keep yourself healthy. Participate as a team. Right, the candidate must be source of encouragement. If somebody, come on, we'll do it, come on, let's do it. That kind of approach you should have. And the candidate is unable to decode structures and give ideas. Till the time the candidate, even if you are not getting idea, never mind, what is your idea? Okay, let's try. No, not possible. Okay, let's try this sage. It's okay. Don't try to shout at people that this is a wrong idea. They'll say, okay, no problem. Let's try it fast. Okay, there's a better way to say, rather than saying that this is wrong. Okay, it is not possible. Never mind. Let's do the other thing. Now, what have you done? You've shown an attitude of team building, not belittling others. You scold a child, and trust me, for years together he will not come to you. Because an innocent child develops one impression and remains it to it for a long time. So don't do that mistake. Candidate often gets blocked in mind thinking of tasks. I've told you blocked thought is very bad. You think I won't be able to do it. Very bad. It is new. I won't be able to do it. Next, you feel the others are doing it better. Very bad. Others are doing it. So what? I'm also doing it. Clear? Okay. Candidate must never underestimate oneself or get conscious that the officer is watching what will happen. Forget him. Enjoy your task. You do mistake, no issues. Say sorry, and enjoy your participation. Focus on your group and your working, not on the officer. Told you again and again. The candidate must strictly adhere to we approach, not me approach. Whenever you're doing the group task, the moment you should have a we approach, group approach, not me. I have said it. I said, I think for all of us. Got it? Of course, your communication ability, if you do it and you learn the right attitudes, or you already have the attitudes, brush them up, get them into the forefront and get selected. The candidate must be caring to other group members by reminding them caution towards rules, silly injuries possible, and move along. Now, for example, you have a father. Whenever he tells you to go out, he tells you drive carefully, do this. Yes or no? Similarly, in group tasks, when somebody is putting a plank and he hurts, you seeing that possibly the hand will get trapped down below, please care for the person. You're not going to be a sadistic person that let him get injured. Now, maza aaya, tend to enjoy it. Rather than warn the person, be careful, don't hurt yourself. Be careful, we can balance this thing now. Don't sit there as a joker to see others fail. It is your team member who is failing, and it is the team it is failing, and you are also failing. So if you don't correct others, if you don't participate with a sense of interest, you're doing a big mistake. The candidate must work with dedication and focus. It will not only divert attention but make one unnecessarily conscious. When you are focused, you will not be bothered whether the officer is looking at you, what the other people are looking at you. Because if you are focused to work, believe me, you go down to the foreign countries, you visit them, you will find them why they are doing very well in their life is because they focus on their own work. They are not interested what the other person is saying. In our country, many places focused work is happening. That is why we are progressive. And many places people are not bothered about their work. They are bothered about you and your trouble. And they want to trouble. So get out of it. Okay, is it clear? It will help you. Once you are focused, you won't be conscious. I always, when I go out, like last time when I was out, I was more interested and enjoying myself. I had made many friends, talked to many people, learned a lot of things. But I was more focused on what I'm talking and this thing. I'm not bothered who's looking at me or not looking. So that helped me to not only earn few friends, but also come back with a rich experience. Candidate must freely share ideas, thus participate in a common idea building. Let's come to a common idea. That is the way you should work. Candidate must not pose unnecessary smartness by being dictatorial. Hey, listen, what I'm going to say, you're going to listen. No, be polite, be relevant. Politeness doesn't mean that you become meek or you become too soft-spoken that you are not heard. Be audible, but don't shout. Right? So, say that. And don't try to become the center person. Okay, everybody is going to report to me. Don't do that. You, in spite of all the good efforts, you will get rejected for this behavior of yours. Try to be appreciative. Play like a captain. Why is Mahendra Singh Dhoni considered as a good captain? Because he did not go for commanding. He won the appreciation of others. He actively participated in the game. He enjoyed the game. He enjoyed his work. He enjoyed the focus. That's it. The candidate must adopt cooperative and not competitive approach. I'm repeating it again. Learn to cooperate with others, not that I have to prove myself as the best. Your group does well, you're getting selected. Your group does extremely bad, you have a fish market situation, you all have big bloated egos, every one of you thinking, I'm the best, I've come from Ranthambore, I'm the best, I'm coming from Kerala, the Chola kingdom, I'm coming from Chera kingdom, and one from Chola kingdom, the other one coming from the Palas in the Bengal, or the other place. Please cut that out. We are not wanting egoistic people. We want one of you as a team member. Is it clear? Because camaraderie is important. The program is designed to decode your team spirit, not self-competence. So be cooperative and not competitive. I am repeating again and again. Now, important observation is not a fun exercise, so necessary focus. It's not fun. Yes, you should enjoy it, but not as a fun. Do it with full sincerity and concentrated participation. Don't be stressed, enjoy working. Just require the candidate to concentrate, have self-belief. Have a good self-belief, be logical, give respect, and also be concerned for others. I'm repeating this. I'm endorsing it. I'm consolidating this. All the points in your mind. And you're an officer. Think it over and over again and you will realize, why am I not having this approach? There are candidates who realize this. And when they went with the group task, they followed this approach of creating a team to be a leader by participating, by contribution, but not the only leader in the group, but as a team. And they got selected. So remember that. The candidate must both be friendly and polite, appreciate good points for the others, and accept and use. Use direction also. If somebody is given an idea, no, I'm not going to use, don't do that. Use it. Candidate must participate with the V approach, motivating all and appreciating. Reasonably, not dramatically. Don't try to become a dramatic person. Please read all instructions twice to thrice and summarize that all the instructions are basically logical, shaded in cooperative leadership and active participation as a team with a V feeling. Right? That's important. Practical application, we'll be talking about it. You'll learn a little and you'll also learn the other. While solving, need to remember the 3 basic rules. Let's talk about that. One is creating a bridge to travel from one point to the other. Placing a plank between 2 structures with no support in between. Suppose I have to reach from this place to this place. You've seen Howrah Bridge. one side Calcutta, one side Havra, and a plank in between. Though it is supported by other iron support, but actually it is a plank. Same thing, if you are having a plank and you are finding two stable structures, put a bridge, create a bridge by placing it, that's it. Using the plank as a hanging bridge, like in swimming platform, when you have a swimming board, diving board, you must, any of you have done swimming? Okay. So while you see the swimming diving board, you have the plank firmly fixed one side, hanging in the other side, but from there the person can jump. Similarly, in your bridge also you can jump from there, 4 feet allowed, you can reach the other task. From there you can take the plank and again make a structure. This way you can go ahead. You making innovative use of helping material to create bridge by tying one rope here, trying one rope here, and then going. We'll see these structures, you will learn something from. Now look at this. There are two poles. We have put a plank in between. We have done it. Bridge is created. We can climb and reach the other place. Now here, look at this. There is an edge cut here. There is one thing here. We put the plank inside this and put the balance. So we have been able to create a bridge and go across. Now then we come down to the another structure. Two things here. We have a shortage of distance, but we have a rope. So what we have done, we have tied a rope here. So this way we have hanged it a little. We are able to at least reach. Now you're not going to make a dancing show there. So you can somehow reach the other place. Then you can reach back also. Now there are two structures. Both are there of equal height. We have kept this. We have gone simple bridge creations. Using rope effectively. Is it clear, not clear? In this, using rope as a loop for throwing from a distance and tightening. Suppose I am standing at a distance and I want to tie a rope. What is the way I can do it? I can do one thing, I can create a loop and thereafter throw the loop and thereafter pull the thing and then tie it here and tie it there and use the rope. So, using rope in 8 manner. 8 manner means I'll take it from one place, put it this way, and then from the other place and this way, tighten it more. We'll learn this. Using rope as a bundle also. Sometimes we can put the rope, make it a bundle, and use it as a lever. Lever means something to make a thing higher. Like we use in simple machines, we try to put it up, we change the force direction. Same thing, we can use that. We will show you, we will teach you this lever technique also, because that is the third technique. Using rope as a tool to create a swing in a football post. Like a swing you have created and now you can travel from one place to the other. What is swing? The one which we call jhula. We have tied something down below a small pole or a plank and thus using it as a jhula. Using rope for creating a bridge for monkey crawling. When we have tied two places, we can do monkey crawling, hang and use the rope and go across. Using rope as a support in between where there is none. For example, I have to go from here to there, but I do not have any structure there to support me to keep my plank. And I find one pole there, one pole here. So I have taken the rope and tied it. Now the rope is throughout, so I can use it and we reach so and so place. Later, once I have reached that place, then I can untie the rope, use it differently. Getting the point? That's it. You will be seeing n number of structures, you will get good ideas. Look at this. This one, what have we done with the rope? We have put the thing and tied the rope in a H structure. So it is tight also and we are able to use it as a bridge. Then here we are having a rope, small rope. And what I have done, put the plank. I have to go this side, but I put more this side. So when after that I turn right on top. So what will happen? Once I turn it, it will become very firm and it will take me to the other side. So what have I done by this is just showing you an example. You will learn more structures. I will show you a lot of structures and you will understand from that I can do it. And why you panic there? Because you are not aware, okay, this can be solved, how it can be solved. I am telling you the solutions. And go and apply. And you are not going to be the unique one. There are so many Among in the class also, there are many who were there in the last batch, but unfortunately did their performance well, neither communicated well. But they know many of the friends got selected. Why? Basically because their mind was open now to bundle of ideas. Now this is a cross structure. We have tied the rope here and put the plank inside, so we have been able to create a bridge. Suppose this structure would have been this side, we could have put the plank on top of it and tied a bridge. So you will see that in times that you will see other thing. Now this is a C kind of thing, but there are things here. We have tied a rope here and then put the plank like this. So when a person will put his leg here, this thing will not let it go up, and we will be having a stable bridge type of structure. So simple. You're not able to see. Okay, you'll be able to see once you go back into the recording, you'll see that this is there. Right, now we come down to the other. Lever technique. What is this lever technique? Let's talk about that. Of course, n number of structures are well devised, and in the workbooks which you are having, you'll be having it there. So this is a technique which helps in elevating use of helping material. Suppose you are not supposed to touch this place, so you'll have to put something here so that it doesn't touch. Same thing, without touching restricted zones. Lever method using other helping material, nearby other helping material to elevate so that restricted area is not touched. I'll show you that. Suppose there is a line and you cannot touch, but before that you put a structure on so that the helping material gets height and you are able to cross without touching. So lever technique using modified structures. Lever technique using rope or other materials to manage the gap. You can do that. Now look at this. Here in this you have one person put a pole and he has put his legs there, and this is not touching this red portion, not touching this blue and coming to the white. So this is a lever technique. What have they done? If they would have kept it normally, it would have touched red and blue. But by putting a pole here, they've given elevation, they've given height. Now here you can see it in the sideways also, it is created. Here again red, black, white, as I have told you. These are the structures, it should have been in the front. This is the solution. Now similarly you see in white and red, we have to go in front, but we cannot keep anything simple because red will automatically break the rule. So what has he done? He has put a pole in the white structure and put the plank. Now without touching the red, it is going across. Are you understanding? Suppose from white to white I have to go, but in between it is red. If I'll keep it, then it will touch red. This will be a problem. So what has he done? He's kept in white, but in the lower portion of the plank, he has tied a rope. So automatically the rope has given it height. So without touching the red, he will be able to reach the white portion. These are all methods of lever technique, which is the third rule. And when you will do other kind of structures, you will get a lot of ideas for the same. Got the point? So now you got some basic ideas of the progressive group task. It's not about only these structures solving, it is about your attitude. It's the way you use these rules and you solve. So God bless you. Thank you very much. Hope you have learned from this. It's been a learning exercise for you. And thank you very much. Jai Hind.